Hello, lovelies. I am just wanting to do a final read um, from my decks because it's finally migration season. So I am headed out and only a couple small decks are coming, but I'm super excited because what I am bringing is my new deck that I made. That's going to come with me, and I made it small, and I'm waiting for that to arrive in time before I leave. So that's going to come with me in my Wild Unknown in the mini tarot, but Light Seers is not coming among some of my other favorite decks. So I thought it would be nice to get some messages before takeoff and migration, So, and I don't know at what point these will be published. The energy from these videos is published when it's time for them to be published, you know what I mean? So, they will be published when it is time. But I'm going to create them now. And we're starting with the deep, dark, and dangerous. This is given to me by a star friend. So, I love that we're starting with this. This is really cool. Okay. Oh my gosh. I love that we're starting with this. Okay. So, obviously, we are in the year of the snake. And Medusa, really the storyline of right now, right? I'll get into that in a second. I want to talk about the snake. The shedding of skins and the life and death cycles, the rebirth, right? And this is so aligned with this move of me and migration and this entire season from everyone I know who is on their path is going through a very, 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 very deep shedding process with this year's cycle. So, in every form, love, life, career, home, it's just like everything, right? So, yeah, that's the journey right now. So, we are going through a massive, massive death. We are going through a massive rebirth. And that's what I wanted to share with you last night. Because there's a card in here. If it doesn't pop up, we'll find it. But it's showing like this snake. And we were watching, last night there was like a wildlife show on or whatever. And it was showing like an eel, and it was like it had gone to a certain depth of what I don't know, like please don't scientifically quote me on this, all right? Like I'm telling you, but like let's like feel free to fact check the information in the comments if you know this, feel free to share the correct information, you know what I mean? So just like conceptually, we're talking about rebirth. So, okay. But the snake had somehow gotten to a level of water where it was toxic, the eel. And so its body started like convulsing and doing all this crazy shit. We're like, is it dying? Like, what's happening to it? We're like, oh, it's definitely dying. And it looked like this. It was like wrapped up in itself. It was like doing all these crazy convulsions. It was like the craziest thing to watch. And we're like, what's going on? And like, and it was going through this whole process that we thought it was dying. And then it just like comes into other water. And then it's just like totally fine and swims off. We're like, oh, it's just like, it's totally fine. It's just like, but it was having this like reaction to all these toxins. And so anyways, with that, I'm thinking about, because I had just created the video about not leaving the body behind, and the body is the vessel. And that snake's experience has basically been this year, right? We've been moving through the release of all these toxins, and so we've been like having these like convulsions of like like all these distortions and energies coming and moving out of the body, and we're feeling things and we're processing things, and we're like, and then like things from the past, it's like really, really deep cycles are closing. Really, really deep cycles. We're talking like old cycles that we've been running loops in for too long, right? Or repetition, right, of like past patterns. It's like we're finally letting go completely of like everything from the past that we've been holding on to. So, I think for a lot of us, it was like, dude, I feel like I already moved through this. You know what I mean? A lot of us were like, I feel like I already overcame things that are like resurfacing now. And so it's kind of like you've done the journey. And so if you're really at this evolution stage right now of like full embodiment and release of these old cycles, like true shedding of self, it's like shedding of final layers of these skins. And the reclaiming of self, which is why I brought up Medusa, because, you know, the story most people know is that she's like this crazy snake lady that turns men into stone. But the true story is that she was like, again, please have grace with my 100% factual knowledge, okay, of the Medusa story is, right, like I believe she was like a princess, and she was beautiful and kind, and basically classic, someone's jealous of her beauty and curses her and turns her into what we know of as Medusa, right? Because so the whole thing maybe I won't storytell on this one because I feel like I'm just like losing people. Whatever. It's cool. Look up the story of Medusa. You know, it's injustice. You know, she was like a kind heart. Turned, you know, bewitched. So anyways, it's like the reclaiming of the identity around that. And I was like, and I lost the parallels of what I was going to say about it, but it's okay. You can look at the story. You can look up the true story, because I feel like I want to pull some cards for you, because I feel like it's what you want from me. Is this what you want from me? So fucking funny. Okay, I love this because what do we have coming up is the Hydra. And we were just talking about, in the word, what does it say? Regeneration. How cool is that? Oh yeah, we're on YouTube. It's okay. How fucking cool is that? Just editing myself again. Yeah, this is you defeating your own layers of self, right? This is you. Like I was just saying that about these different layers of self that you've already defeated. And so now you're in this final battle with yourself, facing all of your demons, and then, you know, freeing yourself. So, wow, how strong the snake is coming through. Off top, you know, and we are already closing out this year. Remember when we were like, remember when we were all like, I hope 2025 is not as bad as 2024. And then it was like worse. You guys remember that? So we had to regenerate we're like, oh cool, this is it. And then it's like, yeah, this is it. Now go and face all of your demons, and then this is it, right? So this is why the deep dark and dangerous deck. I wanted to bring it so bad, but I just, like, I gotta keep space. I gotta make space. Compassion. This to me feels like needs a compassion for your journey. You know what I mean? And for some of you, this may be a more personal message of the bleeding out, and the loss. But it's a doorway for you. It's a doorway for you. So yeah, it's like that's definitely finding compassion for yourself right now is so important. That in general, and then also that's very specific for somebody. Okay. Focus on what? Give me a second to process this, please. Okay. I wanna read this message, and also I'm feeling the heaviness of what I picked up on in this message, and so this, I just want to also address this really personal message because this is really deep and painful, and there's a loss there, and it's like so deep because it's like you don't want to talk about it. That's like I don't want to talk about it, but that's like it's like the energy is like you don't want to talk about it. You don't even want to like I don't even want to be specific because it's like a really scary. I think it's really scary for you to go there. So every experience we have is there for us to move through, and I know that feels unbearable, but there's a message in it for you. There's a story. That wants to be told. There's a message that wants to be heard. And you have to open yourself up to the healing and the message, and it's okay to feel in this place, but don't get stuck there. You do need to regenerate and heal and rest, grieve, rest, process, and communicate with the dead. It's just a veil. Nothing's an accident, it's just a veil. So I cannot tell you the message. You need to go there within yourself and receive it. Okay? You're definitely going to get through this. So going back collectively, thank you everyone for holding space for that. Focus. You've been creating very deep change, and you've been moving in silence. You've been moving through the past. You've been moving through the darkness. Look at all these portals, you know? So, this is the renewal of the shedding. The shedding of the snake skins, you know, and moving through change, and these versions of yourself, right? The werewolf versions of yourself. And I love, this card reminds me of the Strength card, where in the Strength card, she's befriending the lion. And in this card, like, the lion's on her side. She's alchemized, you know. These internal demons, right? The regeneration of self. So focus on that. Have compassion for the death of the past, you know, for everyone, you you know, have compassion and grace with yourself, because a lot had to die for your rebirth. And it is painful. In so many different ways, it's painful. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. Look at this. Wow. And this is on the bottom. Okay. And that's what I said specifically. I said grief. And then on the bottom of that is literally freedom. Right? This is the renewal I'm talking about. You've been on this journey of transformation. You've been focused on your freedom. You've been focused on facing your demons. You've been focused on eliminating wounds from the past. Holding yourself, right? So rest and grieve the past and have compassion for yourself and others on the journey, right? This, both of them, their head is like this low hung head, right? And it's just like the needing to grieve the past. I've been talking about this, the like jaded feeling, because like the journey is so long and painful that when we finally are even reaching the point there, you totally feel jaded. You totally are like, what's the point in a lot of ways? And you're like hopeless in a lot of ways, right? But all of that was to get you there. It really was. And it just like, it doesn't feel better to even hear that, right? It is only better when you actually are able to move through that process and release the pain from your heart and like truly transcend that. And then you can actually just see the lessons and the journey for what it is. And then you can take that and you can be like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. Like, truly, now I'm aligned with like true sight, right? Clear sight, right? That's the gift, is clear sight and alignment with self. So yeah, everything else had to die, but what you gain is clarity, right? So yeah, I know, y'all. We started dark and heavy, didn't we? But that's okay. Let's, you know, we're ending with freedom. So, thank you to our dark and dangerous deck for her beautiful messages. To our dark sacred goddess, bringing up the pain so that we can heal and renew, right? So these may be split or these may be one video. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm gonna just go. You know what I mean? We're gonna get a little animal spirit message, just so nobody asks me what the deck is. Just so I don't have to be asked about it. Okay. Okay. Yes. Can we get some spirit animal messages? Be loyal to what you love. Let's get a few. Let's get a few, and then let's see what kind of messages that you need to hear from me today. Oh. Trust in the magic. What's up? How's everybody feeling? Is everybody feeling kind of down? The overall vibe is pretty down. All right, let's connect into it for a second, and let's do that. Let's come into the overall vibe. Let's pause with the decks. Let's come into the overall feeling. Because we brought up some really deep stuff in this first part of this reading. Some of it very personal, and some of it very deep and personal, you know. So let's sit into just for a second. If we can all take a moment to collectively hold space and compassion for ourselves right now and for everyone else who's watching this video. Like, let's just create a container of compassion and love right now for ourselves and for anybody else in this field, because it's been a really, really long journey. And so let's just take a second, hold some space for each other and ourselves. I see you. I hear you. I'm here with you. And we're going to get through it. Not only are we going to get through it, we're going to overcome it. And I truly believe in you. I truly do. I truly want you to find happiness. Truly want you to find love and joy and success, whatever that means to you in your life. Intake that into your body for a second. Okay. Let's go back to some messages. And I love this because it popped out and then something flipped over, but here. Panther Spirit, Protector. You are protected. Reclaim your power. You are protected. Reclaim your power. You are protected. Reclaim your power. Okay. Any other message from our animal spirit friends? Yeah, your words are power, right? Reclaiming your voice has to do with what is said and what is unsaid, right? 48, 44, 34, 45. So 1966. 44, 66. So your words have meaning, your words have power. Reclaiming your voice isn't just about getting your voice out there, right? Reclaiming your voice is about being present and intentional with your words. So you're also creating this new version of yourself. You don't know everything, right? You're reclaiming this true identity, and at the same time you're remembering, you're learning, you're relearning, right? So be present with that journey. And because here's the thing, is like, you've got to let go of your past belief systems and conditioning and all of these things, right? That's part of you purging these old identities, is that you've got to release is certain things that you are like, like, oh, this is the way that I am, right? Because we have these storylines. This is, like, I'm this type of person, maybe, and when in actuality that's something that you've carried from wounding and you haven't healed. So you're like, well, this is just the way that I am. And it's like, well, you really claiming your power is being like, no, that's just a conditioning, and I don't need to be like that. And allow yourself to learn a new way of experiencing life. Because the truth is, how you were existing wasn't making you happy, right? That's why you've had to create this new identity. That's why you've had to release this past versions of yourselves, and let these versions of yourself die. And this is why our first card out, right? This is really about you reclaiming loyalty with self and what's important to you, right? That's the journey of worthiness, is claiming what's important to you. And not only worthiness, like claiming your life, right? Most people are not living in alignment with their life. Like, how many people are actually in love with their life, right? That's not even a concept that we talk about. Like, are you in love with your life, right? We're like, what do you do for work? Hey, do you love your life? Like, if you really ask people that, I mean, a lot of people would just say, sure, yeah, or whatever, right? Like, right? Because, like, a lot of people are lying to themselves. I love what I do. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, like, given choices of, like, you know what I mean? But, like, do you really love what you do? You know what I mean? There's layers to it. There's for sure layers to it. But as you're removing these versions of yourself, you're choosing to be loyal to what's important to you. And, for example, to me, that is lifestyle. That's why I'm migrating to where I can love my life. And, like, in this, and not to be mistaken with the internal experience, right? I want to be somewhere where I love where I live. I'm surrounded by things that I love, experiences, connecting with community, environment, nature, environment that aligns with a life that I love. You know what I mean? And people, right? It's just like, how much of your life are you giving to something, somewhere, things that you don't love, that are not loyal to you, right? How loyal are you to your job? And then your job, how loyal is your job to you? You know what I'm saying? Are you the one that's like, I really need this job, and you're fighting for that, and they'll drop you in a second, right? Like, what do you love in life? And if you don't know, it's time to find out. Okay? Thank you, my love. Any more messages from our animal friends? There's 3 flight creatures here. And the other three are like protective, loyal, right? Freedom, protection, loyalty. Our turtle, same thing. Protective, trust in the magic and trust your process, right? Trust your journey. You know, that it's unfolding. And it's unfolding in right time. And turtles are fast in the water. They're slow on land. It's just perspective. What did I just say to you? I just said, it's just so funny. It's just perspective. This and that are true. It's just perspective. So, yeah, it appears slow, but it's not. It's fast, and it's aligned. So if you were faster, you would have missed something, and you would have been slower because you would have made more lessons because you didn't learn the lessons that you needed to learn. This is why you had to go and slow down and face those things so that you could catch up with yourself, that you could live in alignment with yourself, right? Whatever. It's just perspective, right? And when you free yourself, that's what I was saying earlier. Once you free yourself, the perspective changes. So it doesn't even look the same. The way you view it now, it doesn't look the same. Stop. You didn't even see it. You see me, you see I didn't look. I just like opened that. Nothing is wasted, right? The vulture eats the dead, right? Eating away the dead. This has been the theme. Regeneration, eating the dead, reclaiming your power. Eating the dead is not the theme, but so funny. Rebirth, shedding the old. Putting the dead to rest, right? So, oh yeah, spider, and she came back out. Oh, make your dreams real. So, and this violet was coming through really strongly. This color, fuchsia. This is our crown energy, right? Third eye crown. And yeah, it's time to, this is what I was saying about this too. Like, it's time to weave a new web. It's time to tell a new story. Stop telling old stories. It's time for something new. It's time to weave a new web. You know, so you've got to create from a new place, right? It's a new pattern. We're always creating patterns. We're always creating a rhythm, right? We're always weaving some story, right, into the tapestry of existence. So, what are you weaving, right? Whether it's intentional or not intentional, you're weaving everything you're doing, right? So, you just wake up and you're like, oh, I'm doing it again. I'm weaving the same pattern and I don't like it. Every day I wake up and it's the same pattern. You're doing it. Stop. Stop it. Create a new pattern. Create a new web. It's like, I feel like I'm like, sometimes when I get in those, like, it's like, dude, like, just do it. Because it's like, because you know it. That's why. It's like one of those things that you know. And so it's like, yeah, like this, you know. If you want to keep living in that reality, it's your choice. or you can reclaim your power and create something different and stop blaming other people for your fucking problems and enjoy your life. I don't know. You decide. It's up to you. Okay? Okay. You decide. You decide, sweetheart. Okay. So, I love that. This is also the deck cover. Stag Spirit. Take the lead. And I actually, this can maybe apply to some of you in in life settings, right? As all things do. But to me, the message that's coming through so strongly is take the lead on your own life. That's what I really feel on this. Create a different web. Take the lead in your own life and reclaim your power. Trust in what you're creating, the magic of what you're creating, and create what you love. Take the lead on your own life and build what you love, which is what I was just saying. Like either you keep living in someone else's reality, or you take the lead on your own life and you create a different story, you weave a different, different web, and it takes time. It takes time to create a different life. It's not going to happen overnight. You got to trust yourself and what you're creating in the world. And again, watch your words also resonating with the story that you're telling, right? Oh, I'm never going to create this and that for my life. Okay, cool. Well, then don't, right? Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with your words and your leadership? What are you creating with your words? This message has been coming through very, very strongly because this is why we're here in this realm. Yeah, what are you creating? These came out on top of each other, which is interesting. It's literally the same color palette. And oh wow, and it's 4858. Yeah. When I am here, it's like, okay, so like this is the thing, right? Because this is an old mentality that's dropping, right? Of like being a leader doesn't mean you know everything. Okay. A real leader is going to say, I am not familiar with that, but I'm either going to find out the information or let you know, or help you get a resource, right? I'm going to resource you, or whatever, or that's a personal thing you're going to have to unpack, right? Whatever it is like a leader is going to direct that, but they're going to communicate that it's not something they're familiar with. They say, let me get educated. You know what? I'm unfamiliar. Let me educate myself. That's power. Let me educate myself so I'm familiar and I can better support you in this topic, right? So, that's leadership. You just like talking shit is not, right? That's not real leadership. And people see through that. They're just like, okay, cool. You man, like being a true leader is knowing what you do and do not know.